That's a very good question. I'd like to change your question. What's your name again?
Kanika.
Okay, Kanika, I'd just like to change your question slightly. I firmly believe in terms of... so going back to what I talked about, in terms of intellectual capability, in terms of intelligence...
Both.
In terms of both those issues. And that goes to the point that I made during what I was intending to, was a short address but turned into a long address, is that what's important in life is not only IQ. What's as important, or if I may say so, is even more important, is EQ. So along with an intelligence quotient in life, you must make sure that you have a very high emotional quotient.
Okay.
Right? And that's the essence of the comment that I made during my address. So what I believe is the difference between the Indian system and the American system is not necessarily the level of IQ or EQ between our students and the students there. But what I think is different is the system of education, the pedagogy. So let me give you an example. So when I was in Stanford for 2 years, first of all, within India, we have this theory that पढ़ाई करना है तो पढ़ाई करना है. तो क्लास 12 खत्म हो गया तो कॉलेज चले जाओ, कॉलेज खत्म हो गया. अच्छा, बाय द वे, कॉलेज भी जाओगे तो अंडर ग्रेजुएट में जनरल बीए नहीं करना है, बीबीए करो. Get into your area of focus wherever you want to focus on, whichever vertical. So the first difference is that this brain is in an expansive mode until your mid-20s. So what we need to do to this brain is we need to be able to stretch it like a rubber band as far as possible. And therefore it's very important from the age of 18 to 22 that our children don't necessarily get a vertical expertise, but really get a horizontal exposure. So when I went to college at Harvard as an undergrad, our first year, you're not allowed to choose a major. Mandatorily, you have to take courses across the spectrum, from math to sciences to philosophy to anthropology to language to whatever else. And why? Because they want you to go through a journey of discovery. Not necessarily discovering only what you like, but also discovering what is it that you don't like. That's as important in life. Similar to getting your jobs. Why must you do internships? And I'd strongly recommend to all of you that you must do internships. Because that through that process, that experiential process, you learn what is it that you want to do and what is it that you don't want to do. So the first comment that I want to make is that the system of education is much more horizontal rather than a vertical system. The second, and I found that a little surprising, because I finished my undergrad in 1993, and then I was a banker for 5 or 6 years, and I only applied to business school after that. And I thought I'd be one of the oldest in my class at 20, I think I was 28, yeah. So what's the average age here, let me ask you?
20, 23, 24.
Because then when you come into business school, you're bringing with you a whole gamut of experiences. And so when Professor Dubey or Professor Dwarkanathji get up on the dais and are going through a case study, you'll say, oh, hold on, wait. I went through something like this in my work experience, and this is what we did in our company. So let me give you an example. In my cohort at Stanford, I had a medical doctor who wanted to change track and go from being a medical doctor to becoming a private equity guy in the area of pharmaceuticals. That's why he came to business school. I had, you will not believe, the head of the New York Philharmonic Orchestra as my classmate. So she was the head of the New York Philharmonic. Leadership, HR. Okay? I had the Iraq War. So he's a pilot. So when you put this sort of a group together, the vivid and varied experiences that you'll get out of it is mind-blowing. That you have to imbibe and go through is to be able to work under pressure. And there are a lot of things on your plate. You take 5 or 6 courses a semester. You've got a hell of a lot of reading. We used to do 200, 250 pages of reading a day, right? And the key there is to be really, again, we used to form small study groups for every course. So there were 3-4 of us that used to work together and study together. So I think, again, their collaboration, leaning on each other. So an area that I was really weak, in my study group, I'd have someone who'd be really strong. And an area where she was really weak, I would be strong. And so you learn that team building happens through that process. So collaborate. Do not work in silos. Work with each other. But certainly, in certain areas, there has to be ingenuity that comes in. Your papers, the way you process things together. And that expertise is also imparted to you through the institution. But working under pressure is a good training. It's a damn good training. I was a banker and there were nights when I never went home. I literally went home to take a shower, brush my teeth, put on my next suit and go back to work. Right? And that actually produces good metal out of you. So don't shy away from pressure. Welcome it. Take it up with open arms. And that's going to make you a leader. That's going to make you successful in life.
I want to become a successful business tycoon, sir.
Good. Okay.
सर मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है,
सेल्स भी एक आर्ट होती है, कला होती है. सेल्स एक साइंस नहीं है, एक आविष्कार नहीं है, एक कला होती है. और चाहे सेल्स हो चाहे मार्केटिंग हो, जो आपकी शैली है, आपकी क्षमता है, चाहे वो कोई सी भी भाषा में हो, अगर आप लोगों को वो विश्वास दिला सकते हैं